Yeah, I'm the boss.
Hey YouTube, it's your girl Allie the Pup, and I am here starting off the new year with you guys, and I'm super excited. I really had a good idea last year, and I actually sat on it a little bit, and I said that I was going to experiment and try something different this year. So I am introducing my Dope Monday, okay? And I know you guys are thinking like, dope, really? But dope to me is dream out past expectations. And I feel like that is like my theme, my mantra for the year. That I'm dreaming out past my expectations. Because the things that I expect, I've seen manifest. And so if I keep dreaming, it's got to keep happening. So I actually kind of want to share a story with you guys. Just kind of, I guess, where I'm coming from, so you kind of learn me a little bit. I am a 23-year-old, little something, from Jacksonville, Arkansas. And Jacksonville is right outside of Little Rock, probably like 20 minutes. Grew up in church, graduated, top of my class, went on to the University of Alabama, where I majored in public relations, minored in computing technology and communication studies. And when I got out of school, I had this grand idea, like they tell everybody, that once you get out of school and you graduate, you're going to get that dream job. And it didn't happen. I decided to come back home. I had this job that I thought that I wanted and thought that I needed. And my mom and dad was like, you coming home. So I packed up my stuff, came right back to Jacksonville, and felt like I was at like the bottom of the earth. And when I got here, I could not find a job to save my life. Like, couldn't find a job at all. And jobs that I had, a job that I had while I was still in college and coming back at home from holiday break, it just wasn't paying the bills, like, taking care of stuff that I want to take care of. And just couldn't find nothing. And I remember I got a call back for a job, and I had an interview, and I was so psyched for this interview. I went, and it was a cancer insurance interview, like a scam type interview. And I remember being in an interview, like it was a group setting. It wasn't even an interview, it was like group training. And I remember texting my mom like, Mom, I can't do this. And she was like, you need to stay, just hear me out. I was like, no. I got my stuff and I left. And I left with intentions to go to the MAC counter and buy me a lipstick, because I just felt bad, and I wanted to buy myself something. And so I went to Dillard's, and I ran into my friend, and she was like, you need to go apply upstairs, whatever. And so I'm like, girl, I just left the job. I ain't trying to do that right now. I'm just stay where I'm at. She was like, no, go apply. I went upstairs, applied, and ran into the store manager. And he told me to just stay tight. He'll sit and talk to me. I waited for like 45 minutes. And I'm like, did he forget I was in here? Sure enough, he came out. He was like, I just wanted to see how long you were going to wait. Apparently you want this job, whatever. I'm going to start you off at $14 an hour. You look like, you look the part. You can talk well, whatever. This is what I need you to do, blah, blah, blah. So I'm like, cool. Went in with one expectation and came out with another. Throughout the time, my first month, I kicked butt. And after that, it was just like, because I didn't want to do it. And so with that, 10 months later, I walked away from my job, and I didn't have a plan B at all. And I remember like it was like yesterday, and I was stuck in a place to where I didn't know what my next move was going to be. And growing up in church, my mom and my dad always, kind of instilled, just like any other parents, instilled kind of values and stories, life lessons for you to kind of take with you. And I remember there was a story about a man named Job. And basically Job was like this rich dude. He had like 5,000 sheep, 3,000 doggone oxen and donkeys and all kinds of stuff. Like back in the day, Bible days, that was like you was breaded up if you had all that stuff going on. And he had all that, had a great family, 10 kids, 7 sons, 3 daughters, wife, and Job just had it made. And one day Satan was, chilling up in the kingdom of heaven like he just ran it or whatever. And God was like, what you doing up here? He was like, no, I've been down in the earth, roaming, messing with these people, seeing that they gonna fall for evil or whatever. And God was like, oh, you should have seen my servant Job. And he was like, man, I can get Job if I wanted to. If you just take his hand off him, the only reason he, fooling with you for real is because you're taking care of his family. And he was like, if you let that go, I promise you, like, he gonna curse you. He ain't down like you think he is. And God was like, I give you permission to test him. And sure enough, 4 servants came to him, said folks that came and stole all his camels and his donkeys and oxen and sheep, killed his sheep, killed his family. And Job was just like, man, I came into the earth with nothing and I'm gonna leave with nothing. It's cool, God got me. And when I thought about that, I was like, dang, Job had it pretty bad. That's bad. You lose your family and you lose all your money, you like in the pits. And then on top of that, he went back. Satan was like, man, it's okay. Let me get Job sick real quick and let me see what he do. And sure enough, went back and Job had all these sores and crap all over his body and couldn't even function, just sick as a dog. And he still didn't question God. His friends was coming up asking him different questions about different stuff, like, you sure you ain't sinned and did nothing, Job? Like, you need to think real hard because God wouldn't be letting all this stuff happen to you. And it was almost like his faith was being tested. And it's crazy because I felt like I was in that same situation. Everybody's like, girl, I wouldn't have left Dillard's, blah, 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 this, that. I would have stayed. Girl, they was paying you so much money an hour, blah, blah, blah. And making me feel as if I had made the wrong decision, as if it wasn't, like, all together well with me. And with that, God told him, look, was you there when I created the moon and the stars and the sun that's shining? Was you there when I was, naming and commanding all these animals to do what they do? If you know that I had that much power, why do you not think that I would not have the power to restore you and to save you, or not to allow things to happen? And Job at that moment was just like, dang, you're right, and I had that moment. And the thing about it is, when Job came to that realization, God restored him with twice as much that he had. And I feel like now that was my Job experience. All through 2014, I had a Job experience. Left my job, was working any and everywhere, and then I was like, you know what? I'm gonna stop doing this because this is what I want to do. God wouldn't have me walk off this job and not have things lined up for me. Literally November, everything took a turn, and granted it was months later, but it happened. And here I am now. By the end of December, I had 2 jobs. And I was still able to manage a third. And all of them are things that I want to do. I finally got a job in my major. I finally got a job at the TV station. I can finally be on air at the radio station. Like, everything I felt like lined up perfectly. And though I be dog tired, honey, it paid off. And God upped me one. He gave Job twice as much. He gave me 3 times as much. And so going into 2015, I wanted to, this first Monday of the second week of the month, I really wanted to really press on your heart and press on your spirit to keep pushing. It gets frustrating sometimes, for sure. Trust me, I know, because I've been there, done that. But it gets better. And so I took some time to get 3 steps together to help you guys out to kind of get to where you're going for 2015. First step, okay, is to know your purpose. You need a plan and you need to work within that plan. You should wake up every day knowing exactly where you're going, what you're doing, and what you want to accomplish and what direction to go in. And once you get your purpose, make sure that you hold on tight to it. The next thing is to keep looking ahead at all times. When you know your purpose, sometimes you're going to get discouraged. Sometimes you're going to get ticked off. Everything is not going to go the way that it is supposed to go. But at the end of the day, you have to keep looking ahead and know what you're working towards. And finally, use your time wisely this year, okay? If you really want to experience your best, you have to keep your mind on things that are important, and know that whatever you're devoting your time to, that's what's going to take up a majority of your life. And so with that, you want to be careful with your time spent, and make time for key relationships too. People are I feel like one of the greatest treasures quietly. They tick us off and they bend us and move us and shake us all kinds of ways. But that's what they're designed to do, so we can learn something from them. So keep your relationships, keep your friends close, keep your families close, and know at the end of the day that those are your accountability partners. So those are the people that are going to really push you to do your very best. So with that, I hope you guys learned a little bit of something and just a tad bit about me. But my ending lesson is, although you may experience what Joe did, which was tough, keep pushing through and keep dreaming and keep having expectations, keep having goals, keep pushing through. All right, this is my Dope Monday with your girl, the Pub. And I'll see you guys later.
Yeah, I'm the boss.